So you might be close to getting your license, and now is the time to start looking for a car. You like Japanese cars, but you can't really afford the coolest cars out there, but you want to start somewhere. Today we'll be looking at the 3 first Japanese cars you should get as soon as you get your license in Europe. These are cars that have plenty of aftermarket available, they are cheap and easy to maintain, and they are also very usable as a daily. If you like the sound of it, this video is for you. Let's get going. The first car we'll be looking at is the second gen Nissan Micra. This is a cheap, reliable, but often overlooked car in Europe. The second gen Nissan Micra is one of the best cars you can get as your first car. There are cheap parts everywhere, engines last forever if maintained, the chassis is super light, so the smallest mods makes a big difference. The second gen Micra was produced between 1992 and 2002, so that's 10 years of Micras. You have the first pre-facelift, you have the first facelift and the second facelift. The pre-facelift and first facelift came equipped with either a 1 liter or a 1.3 liter engine, while the second facelift came with either a 1 liter or a 1.4 liter, making the 1.4 liter engine the most powerful engine out of the second gen Micra. With the 1 liters going from 50 to 65 horsepower, the 1.3 liter with 75 horsepower, and the 1.4 engine with 82 horsepower. Now it might not seem like a lot, but you have to remember that these cars, they weigh nothing. You also had the option to go with a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed CVT transmission. We also saw very special editions of the K11 March and the K11 Micra. We for example had the K11 Nismo, we have the K11 Mystique, we also had the special edition Tomicara March, and of course we have something like the K11 March Bolero also. All of these are K11s from the start. So if you are someone that is into Nissans a lot, I'd highly recommend checking out the K11 Micra further. I do have a dedicated Micra buying guide on my channel, so make sure to check that out as well. Let me show you the next car. The second car is of course the Toyota Starlet EP91. And it's also another car that people tend to overlook a lot. Given that it is a Toyota, you of course get the Toyota reliability of the 90s, which means that it will probably outlive you as well. These cars have a noticeable aftermarket, and just like the Micra, the EP91 is extremely lightweight, it's high revving, it's fun, easy to work on, all of that good stuff. Now, speaking of the Micra, these two cars tend to be compared a lot, so these communities often argue which car is better, but honestly it doesn't really matter which car you choose. Just pick your poison and you'll get a solid first car. Here in Europe, the Starlet was produced from 1996 to 1999, and here in Europe the Starlet also came with a 1.3 liter producing 75 horsepower, pairing it with either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. And like the K11 Micra, the Starlet also came in various special editions. For example, we have a special edition Club AB, we also have the JDM Glanza 5, which is the sportiest Starlet you can get. And we also have the EP91 Starlet Carrot. Alright, time for the last car. Now moving on to the last car, we arguably have one of the most classic Japanese cars you can get, which is the 6th generation Honda Civic. I don't think I need to introduce the Civic a lot, but if you don't know what the Civic is, it's basically what shaped the Fast and Furious era car culture. These cars were everywhere during the Fast and Furious films, and during that era of cars, even before Fast and Furious, people were modifying these. They were super cheap, there were tons of parts for them, the engines were bulletproof and super reliable, and the Honda Civic is super popular for its ability to swap engines from other Hondas. You can for example swap in the B20 engine from a CR-V, or you could go K-swap as well, which is super popular today. People are making entire conversion kits for these cars. So it's mostly plug and play, which is awesome. And just like the Starlet and the Micra, the Civic got special editions as well. We have the EK9 Type R, for example, only produced in Japan. We also have the Civic Jordan, which was only produced for the UK. Now here in Europe, the Civic was produced from 1996 to 2000. We have the 1.4 liter with 75 to 90 horsepower. We have the 1.5 liter with VTEC, which produced around 115 horsepower. And we also have the 1.6 liter producing 160 horsepower. These cars came in either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic as well. So those are the 3 cars I'd recommend to a first-time buyer. I didn't go very in-depth with these cars, because there are lots of content on YouTube that do that. I just wanted to point you guys in the right direction. I have owned multiple EK Civics, I've owned 1 Micra so far, and I'll probably own a Starlet in the future as well. What you need to keep in mind that these cars are very old now, which means that rust will be a prominent issue for you. Worn out bushings as well. Make sure the car has been serviced nicely also, since these cars are very cheap and economy cars, people tend to not look after them at all actually. So if you're gonna be checking one of these cars out, make sure to just bring your common sense with you. Lots of young people have been driving these cars for years, so naturally they will be, well, in rough shape, unless you find a good example. As for mods, these cars don't need much modifications to be a very fun car. All you really need is a proper set of lowering springs or coilovers. a nice set of wheels and tires, good brakes, and of course give it a good service also. Oil changes, check the bushings, check all the auxiliary belts, all of the wear and tear parts. And that is it for this video. If you have any tips and tricks or any other first cars you wanna recommend, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Wanna make sure that people get into cars with a peace of mind, right? If you guys wanna see more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps out a lot. I'm not gonna waste any more time. Thank you guys so much for watching, make sure to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week.